And then I would sit there and lay in bed and think about all the things I want to do and then never take action because I'll do it tomorrow. This is what my day was like for so many days until I made this change. I'll do it tomorrow. I need to make a better plan. What if this isn't good enough? Maybe I shouldn't do this. Is this what I really want to do? I'll do it tomorrow. And then I would sit there and lay in bed and think about all the things I want to do and then never take action because I'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow turned into days, weeks, months, and years. And if you feel this way, you are not alone because I had the I will do it tomorrow mindset for so long, but don't worry because today we are going to talk about how to start living the life that you've always wanted to live. Because the I will do it tomorrow is a trap. Because if you didn't do it today, what makes you think you're going to do it tomorrow? We will eventually go into the frameworks about how to get out of this rut of always wanting something. But first, we're going to talk about the things that were holding me back, and maybe you can relate to these things because I think if we understand why we are not doing the things we're doing, then it is easier to start doing them. The first thing is perception. I love this quote from Henry Ford that says, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I think a lot of times we get limited by our perception of ourselves. People who think they can will act because they already believe that they are the person that can do something like that. And then the people that think they can't, they won't act even if they want to because they already determined that they can't do that. And that is why I always talk to people about perception because it is one of the most important things. The perception you have of yourself is either helping you or hurting you. And if it's hurting you, you want to make it so it starts helping you. So how do you fix the perception you have of yourself if you think that this may be the issue? First of all, understand that it is not your fault. You may have grown up in a place where people told you you couldn't do things, and I'm here to tell you, when people tell you you can't do things, it's because they themselves can't do it. It has nothing to do with you. This is all our first time living, and if somebody else did something, you can do it too. That is the reality of it. If it has been done, it can be done again, and even if it hasn't been done, maybe you can be the first. You know, people never thought someone could run a mile under 4 minutes, and then guess what? One day somebody did. So that is the thing, is that if it has been done, you can do it. And if it hasn't been done, you still may be able to do it. So you are unlimited, but you have to believe that about yourself. And I understand that sometimes it is so hard when you've been told your whole life that you can't do something, or that's a bad idea, or maybe somebody else did it, but what makes you think you can do it? I understand. I completely understand. And I think because we are always changing, there is an older generation that is not used to the things that the newer generation is doing. And so they have different perceptions of what is possible. And I think once we understand that, then we can understand that we are capable of doing so much more. I'm going to recommend a short book that really helped me with this. It was called The 4 Agreements, and it basically talks about how, just like I said, you know, we learn through the people we grow up around, and if they have limited beliefs and perceptions about themselves, we'll start thinking that about ourselves, but we can always choose to change. Right? Like, we are never, ever, ever stuck where we are right now. Another thing is resistance. It is hard to do the thing that is not known, but if you never do that thing, you'll never know. My biggest tip for this is that if you want to do something, just do it once, because that first time you do it, you'll realize it's not as scary as you thought it would be, and you'll be able to do it again and again and again. And you'll have all these new experiences, and you'll realize that the anticipation of doing something was way scarier than actually doing it. Another issue that may arise is fear of what people will think of you. And I'm here to tell you, I understand. I really do understand. I had another channel when I was younger, and I would post, I would go to school, and I would be made in front of everyone. And it sucked because I was just trying to make videos, and I had not a great home life, and this was like my little escape, and I would go to school and get bullied. But that is where education about human behavior comes in, because people project their insecurities and how they feel about themselves onto other people when they're hurting them. And I know know it sucks, but when you can understand that it has nothing to do with you, it will be easier if somebody does making fun of you or does put you down, because then you almost have empathy for them and you don't take it so personal. The only way to fight back to these situations is truly with kindness. Because happy people, people who feel good about themselves, they're not mean to people. There's that. And then the fourth thing is a lack of clarity. You have to be very, very clear about what your goals are and very clear about the steps to achieve them, so then you can make a plan to achieve them. There's that quote that says you can't score without a goal. And that is so, so true. You might have an idea of an industry or an interest or a hobby, a sport, or anything that you want to be involved in, but you need to be clear about what involvement you want to have there and how you're going to get there. And I'm going to help you with that. Do not worry. Okay, it is game time. Let's get into the 4 steps that helped me and I hope will help you too. Step 1, you need to define your goals, whether they're with business, fitness, education, travel, whatever it is, define the goal. The goal could be, I want to be more active. That's a great goal because then you can break it down into steps to make sure you're more active. I want to eat healthy, another great goal. I want to travel more, another great goal. Just define a clear goal, and you can have multiple. Maybe you have a goal for health and you have a goal for business, whatever it is, just define clear goals. Step 2, acknowledge your strengths and define your weaknesses. I'll tell you guys how I did this a little bit. I looked at my day and I saw, okay, in the morning, you're good, you're productive, you work out first thing in the morning, you eat healthy. Those are the things that I don't have to think about. I am very good in that part of my life because it's a habit. I've been this way for most of my life and I don't even think about these things. Like, they just happen and there's no resistance anymore. It's just a habit. But then there's other parts of my days where I'm like, okay, you probably don't need to watch 3 hours of Netflix every night, right? Okay, things like that. Like, I can break it out and see where I am just wasting time and I could be working on something else that I feel very passionate about. But I just go throughout my day and see where I kind of am falling off, and I give credit to myself where I'm already doing good, because it's always good to acknowledge the things that you do well already. Step 3 is to shadow journal. I know I have mentioned this before, but it is so important because, like I talked about in the beginning of the video, perception can hold us back so many times. And when you shadow journal, you realize why you might have a self-limiting belief or a limited perception about what you're capable of doing. And for me personally, once I understand something, once I understand why I'm that way, it is so much easier for me to reverse it. I can be like, okay, this is why I think this way, but that does not make it true. You know, it also helps a lot, I think, when looking at relationships and seeing, you know, where maybe you've been toxic, or if you keep finding yourself in relationships, and I'm not talking just romantic, this can be friendships, whatever it is, with people who are not very good to you, you can understand like why you seek that out in a person. Shadow prompts, just honestly, they help with everything. They helped me understand so much about myself and see the things that were really holding me back so I could change them. Step 4, the final step, is going to be building a schedule. I think this is so important. I like to do this on Sunday. I do it in Excel. It's kind of weird, I don't know, but you can do it anywhere. You can do it in your iPhone calendar, Google Calendar, whatever works for you. I like having a digital copy of it because I'm not always gonna have like my calendar with me, but whatever works for you, honestly, you could do it on a whiteboard, to each their own. But I like to schedule on Sundays, so I kind of have a setup of my week. And when it comes to scheduling, I would recommend like not going too overboard. For me, just simply making a schedule and like blocks and maybe making them different colors a little bit so I can like distinguish the difference, because mine's in Excel. Like, that's good. It doesn't need to be like so beautiful and colorful. It's just setting you up for the week so you know what you're doing each day, so you're not like stuck sitting there being like, oh, what should I do? Like, instead of spending that time during the week thinking about what you should do, it's already there. And I like to leave myself extra time for things because, for example, like filming YouTube videos, I always think it's gonna be quick, but once I start, I just stumble or I forget things or whatever it is, and it ends up taking longer. So I now know to schedule out more time. And that's also really good because you can put in things and then see how much time they really take and then adjust to that. Because I know for me, once I started scheduling, I was like, okay, days do seem long, but honestly, things also take a long time. So I don't like overdo it, you know? And then you're gonna go up to step 1 and look at your goals and implement those goals into your schedule. I would recommend putting something in every day. So if you're wanting to be more active, schedule in a 20-minute walk when you wake up, or before you go to bed, or after dinner, whatever it is, just schedule it in. And here is my personal advice, because I have done this before. Don't set standards so high that they're just unachievable in the given amount of time, but don't set standards too low because of resistance. You want a little bit resistance so you can keep going, but you don't want them so high that you feel defeated if you can't complete it. Something that I really benefited from scheduling is realizing that even though the day seems long, a lot of things do take up a lot of time, because I used to wake up and think I have all this time, there's so many things I can do today, but put in a few appointments, because I live in LA and the traffic is like an hour to get anywhere. It's like, whoa, okay, I'm losing the time. So that's why I think it's also good to schedule, because you start to see what time you have. Okay, we're just gonna do a little summary. Step 1, define a clear goal. You cannot score without a goal, so make sure it's clear. You will see that this will help with so much stress and confusion, because once you have a goal, you almost can have like tunnel vision towards it. Step 2 is define your strengths and weaknesses. See where you are helping yourself, and then see where you're hurting yourself, and in the places you're hurting yourself, start helping yourself. This is so good because it shows you where you're good and you should keep those things and keep improving on those things, and then where maybe there's some things holding you back in your day-to-day life that you can change. Step 3 is to shadow journal. Understand yourself, understand where your limited beliefs come from, understand if you have a certain type of relationship that keeps coming in your life and hurting you, why that's happening, and changing so it doesn't happen anymore. Just get to know yourself and the things holding you back so that you can change them. And then step 4, make a plan. I cannot express to you how important this is. It may take a little time the first time you do it, but when you have a schedule, everything flows so much easier. I have gone back and forth from scheduling and not scheduling, and I can tell you that when I do schedule, now I'm scheduling, but when I do schedule, I get so much more done and I feel so much better at the end of the week. So this is so important. And I'm gonna call this secret step number 5. I think knowing that life is so spontaneous, right? Like, we are not certain of a lot of things, and sometimes things happen and we have drawbacks, or we have bad days, or whatever it is. But for me, it's noticing that, hey, there's gonna be times that are a little bit hard, or there's gonna be times that I don't complete what's on my schedule to 100%, but I'll just start again tomorrow. Like, that's the biggest thing. Is for me, I realized in the past I got so discouraged, I would just completely quit. Now I understand, like, hey, yeah, there's gonna be things that are gonna get in the way. There's gonna be hard times. There's gonna be unpredictable events that come up, but I'm gonna stick to doing what I'm doing. I know there's gonna be setbacks, but I'm not gonna stop. And that is it for today's video. I have so much more coming for you guys that I did not touch on in this video, because I kind of want to break it up so I can dive deeper into topics. But you know, there's other things that affect this whole situation, like the people you spend time with, the media you're consuming, and I am going to talk about those, but I just wanted to get this out first, because these are things that you can do today and are very, very helpful. They were huge for me. So if you're feeling a certain way, or you're feeling like the I'll do it tomorrow way, like I explained in the first part of the video, which I was stuck in for so long, I hope this is starting to help. Let me know if you have any questions, or if there's any topics you want me to discuss, and of course I will link stuff in the description, including books that have helped me and anything else, because I want to share as much as I possibly can with you guys because of my own personal experience, and I know how it feels. That is it for today. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye!